Anyways, Operation Grand Slam is kicked off the next day. I find it really funny how quickly the gas takes out the soldiers. Like, it happens in like 2 seconds. I really like how methodically this whole plan is, though. It is done to perfection. Really. Oh, and watch this, though. It's hilarious. Anyways, the gang moves in on Fort Knox by taking down the gate and breaking in the door using the laser that we saw earlier. But as it turns out, the gas was replaced with air, by Pussy Galore of course, and as the CIA discovers that the nuclear bomb is indeed at Fort Knox, everyone gets back on their feet and attacks Goldfinger's army. But Goldfinger prepared for this perfectly. He locks Oddjob, Bond, and the other bomb expert inside the fort. Oddjob, who is blindly loyal to Goldfinger, kills the expert before he can defuse the bomb. I love how Goldfinger, immediately switches his suit into American Army costume. He knew his plan was gonna work, but he is still a very cautious man. It also shows that he is only working with the Chinese for his own benefit. He doesn't actually care about their plans. I must point out here that the set is absolutely amazing for Fort Knox. For the first time I saw this film, I was so struck by the set that I actually thought they shot the movie inside Fort Knox. Today, this is a top 5 set in the series in my opinion, and I know I'm an idiot for thinking that it was real. Anyways, you can't do a Goldfinger review without talking about the Oddjob fight, which is, without a doubt, one of, if not the best fights in the entire series, which means it's one of the best fights in any film, seeing as the amount of fights that have been in the Bond series. The fight between Oddjob and Bond is an absolutely, just all-around amazing fight. I love how Bond just gets his ass kicked the entire time. It really just a phenomenal fight and makes great use of the marvelous set. Of course, Oddjob meets his making by being killed by his own weapon, kind of like how Red Grant does in From Russia with Love. I find it funny when Bond looks at the bomb and has no idea what he's doing, when it turns out all you have to do is flick a little switch. It is kind of cheesy and cliche, if you will, that it turns off at 007. Anyways, Bond goes onto a plane heading for Washington when Goldfinger appears. After a pretty okay fight, Goldfinger somehow shoots out the window, causing the cabin to depressurize. Because of this, he is sucked out of the plane and falls to his death. One thing I don't really get about this scene, though, is after he goes out of the plane, you see Bond able to get back on his feet and walk into the cabin. Now, I know I'm not, good at physics or anything, but that shouldn't be possible. I know, stop it, Quinn. Another insy-bincy question is, who is that guy in the background? Anyway, Bond and Pussy use a parachute, to escape the out-of-control plane, which somehow explodes immediately on impact with the water, and conveniently fall to a soft, crispy landing. The obvious happens as the CIA searches for them, and that is Goldfinger.
Stop! For trouble. 007. It spells Bond.
Goldfinger is the third film in the series, and even though it was made 50 years ago, it is still one of the best in the entire series. This timeless classic has everything you could possibly want in a Bond film. The villain, henchman, and Bond girl are all classics in their respective categories, and the plot is just amazing. Of course, what makes this film, though, is Connery. I've always thought of Thunderball as Connery's best performance, but after my most recent viewing of this film, I believe this is his best, and indeed the best of any Bond in the entire series. Although Brosnan is, and will always be, my favorite Bond, Connery is undoubtedly the best. His style and suave in this film is perfect. His chemistry with everyone in this film is also amazing. The MI6 crew, as always, is great, especially Q, who has his first major role in the franchise up to this point. I like how his character grows from this film, turning into more of a friend of Bond and eventually more of a father figure later into the Brosnan era. Goldfinger is a great villain whose presence is, in a way, stronger than Bond's. Oddjob is the best henchman in the Connery era, which is a lot saying that includes the likes of Red Grant and Winton Kidd. Pussy Galore is the best Bond girl in the series, and is a perfect complement to both Goldfinger and Bond. She's just as strong as both of them, which I really like. Everything about this film is perfect in its own right, but when they are blended together, it makes something special. It gives the series even more momentum after great prior films in the form of Dr. No and From Russia with Love. This does mark the starting point when the films start to get more campy. Although I do love my fair share of camp, which is why I love Roger Moore, I really enjoy the serious ones in this series, which is partially why I enjoy From Russia with Love more than this film. If I did have to recommend one film for a newcomer in the series, though, it would probably be this or GoldenEye. Although the perfection does deviate a little for the next film, I would still consider it a top 8 in the series. So expect another positive review for 1965's Thunderball. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time. Oh, you're still here. Okay, well, here's, I guess, an honorable mention for what I was going to do for the part 1 bit.
This is what raping is. You're a raper and you rape me. That's a rape! Rape!
Oh, just relax there, Jodie Foster.